Welcome to latest News Blaster. A shocking wave of social media frenzy. Rumors erupted early yesterday, claiming that King Charles III had secretly passed the throne to Prince William overnight, sending the royal family and fans worldwide into a state of disbelief and speculation. Videos and posts circulating on platforms like YouTube suggested a midnight decree and closed-door palace meetings, but official statements from Buckingham Palace firmly deny any abdication, confirming that Charles remains the reigning monarch, with no formal transfer of sovereign power having occurred. While experts note that although Prince William has increasingly taken on prominent ceremonial roles and honors in preparation for the future, such as military appointments and high-profile public engagements, these developments represent normal succession planning rather than any secret overnight handover. And constitutional law dictates that abdication requires a formal public declaration and parliamentary approval, meaning that despite sensational claims, Charles' health updates, the growing visibility of William and Catherine, and ongoing social media speculation, the monarchy continues under King Charles' authority, with the Regency Acts only allowing temporary delegation of duties if needed, not a transfer of kingship, leaving the public to navigate the line between rumor, media dramatization, and official fact, as the royal family quietly manages its evolving duties and preparations for the next generation. In the early hours of yesterday morning, the digital world erupted into a frenzy as rumors spread like wildfire, claiming that King Charles III had secretly handed over the throne to his eldest son, Prince William, in what was described as an unprecedented overnight decision, a narrative that immediately captured the imagination of royal watchers, media outlets, and social media users across the globe, sparking waves of speculation, disbelief, and intense debate. Videos purporting to show closed-door palace meetings, secret midnight decrees, and confidential discussions circulated on platforms like YouTube and TikTok, with clickbait headlines suggesting that the British monarchy had quietly undergone a seismic shift while the royal family remained tight-lipped, creating an atmosphere of tension and suspense that dominated trending news feeds. Yet despite the viral nature of these claims, Buckingham Palace issued statements firmly denying any such transfer of power, emphasizing that King Charles remains fully committed to his duties as sovereign, with no formal abdication, no secret documents signed, and no legal authority passed to Prince William, a clarification that serves as a critical reminder that sensational online stories often blur the line between rumor, speculation, and fact, particularly when it comes to one of the world's most high-profile institutions. And while the narrative of a clandestine handover might seem plausible to some, a careful examination of the constitutional framework governing the United Kingdom makes clear that any abdication or transfer of the crown would require a public declaration and parliamentary approval, making a secret overnight decision legally impossible. A point underscored by royal historians who caution that while the monarchy evolves with time and generations, its foundations remain bound by law and protocol, ensuring that the continuity of kingship is maintained. And yet, the fascination with the idea of an abrupt change of power persists, driven in part by King Charles's recent health updates, which have included ongoing treatments and public statements that have been interpreted by some as indicators of reduced capacity, though these interpretations remain speculative and are not supported by any formal actions. And while it is true that Prince William has increasingly taken on a visible role in representing the monarchy, attending high-profile ceremonies, and assuming honorary positions within the military and royal orders, these steps are part of standard succession preparation rather than a clandestine transfer of sovereignty, and they reflect a deliberate strategy to groom the heir apparent for eventual kingship, all while ensuring the stability and continuity of the royal institution. Yet the public's appetite for drama, amplified by sensational media coverage and social media speculation, fuels narratives that exaggerate the significance of William's growing responsibilities, creating a feedback loop where rumor begets clicks and clicks beget more speculation, a phenomenon that has become increasingly common in the digital age, especially when dealing with figures as globally influential as the British royal family. And as experts point out, This is not the first time that similar stories have circulated, as previous claims of abdication, secret decrees, or sudden transfers of power have emerged and later been debunked, highlighting a persistent pattern of misinformation that thrives on urgency, intrigue, and the inherent human fascination with dynastic drama. Yet beneath the spectacle, there are genuine developments worth noting, including the ongoing ceremonial and symbolic roles that Prince William now occupies, such as acting in official capacities at national events, participating in global diplomatic engagements, and assuming honorary military titles, all of which demonstrate a gradual but deliberate shift toward preparing the future monarch while maintaining the current king's authority. And in this context, analysts emphasize the distinction between symbolic authority, delegated duties, and legal sovereignty, explaining that while William may act in certain capacities on behalf of the crown, the ultimate power and responsibility remain with King Charles, underscoring the careful balance that defines constitutional monarchy. And furthermore, the public reaction to these rumors reveals much about contemporary media consumption, where viral content, even if unverified, can dominate discourse and shape perceptions of reality, creating a climate in which the boundaries between entertainment, reporting, and factual analysis are increasingly blurred, a dynamic that challenges both journalists and audiences to critically assess sources, confirm official statements, and remain cautious of sensationalized narratives that exploit public fascination, particularly when those narratives involve institutions with long-standing traditions and legal frameworks, such as the British monarchy. And yet, despite the palace's reassurances, speculation continues to flourish, amplified by commentators, bloggers, and social media users who extrapolate meaning from minor events, health updates, or ceremonial changes, weaving intricate stories that suggest a hidden truth beneath the surface. And this cycle of rumor and intrigue has become a defining feature of modern royal reporting, wherein every public appearance, statement, or appointment is scrutinized for signs of a secret agenda, a shift in succession, or a dramatic upheaval in power, all of which fuels the notion that the monarchy is perpetually on the brink of transformation, even when legally and officially no such transformation has occurred. And looking at the broader context, it becomes clear that the fascination with succession, abdication, and royal intrigue is deeply rooted in history, public imagination, and media practices. As each generation witnesses the transfer of ceremonial duties, the grooming of heirs, and the strategic management of public perception, a process that has been ongoing for centuries. Yet in today's digital age, the immediacy and reach of social media accelerate the spread of speculation, allowing rumors to reach millions within minutes, often outpacing the capacity of official channels to provide clarification, creating an environment where stories like the supposed overnight transfer of power gain traction regardless of their factual basis. And ultimately, this situation illustrates the enduring allure of the British monarchy, the power of narrative in shaping public perception, and the importance of careful distinction between rumor, speculation, and confirmed fact, reminding audiences that while headlines may scream of shock decisions, secret abdications, and overnight transfers, the reality remains grounded in law, protocol, and official confirmation. And as King Charles continues his reign, Prince William's increasing visibility, the palace's measured communications, and the public's fascination converge to create a landscape where every move is dissected, every report amplified, and every rumor given life, ensuring that the monarchy remains at the center of global attention while continuing to operate within the bounds of constitutional tradition, legal authority, and ceremonial propriety. A balancing act that has defined the institution for centuries and will likely continue to define it for generations to come, leaving the world watching, speculating, and waiting for the next official word. Even as the viral narratives of secret overnight decisions capture imaginations far beyond the palace walls, demonstrating that the interplay between rumor, media, and official fact remains as potent as ever in shaping perceptions of royalty, power, and succession. And in this climate, discernment, critical thinking, and reliance on credible sources become essential tools for navigating a landscape in which stories like the overnight shock transfer can dominate headlines without ever crossing the threshold of reality, while at the same time highlighting the public's insatiable appetite for drama, speculation, and glimpses behind the scenes of one of the world's most enduring and closely observed institutions. A whirlwind of online speculation, rumors erupted yesterday claiming that King Charles III had secretly passed the throne to Prince William overnight, sending shockwaves through the royal family and fans worldwide, as viral videos and posts on social media suggested closed-door palace meetings and an unprecedented midnight decree. But Buckingham Palace has firmly denied any abdication, confirming that Charles remains the reigning monarch with no formal transfer of sovereign authority. While experts emphasize that under UK law, abdication requires a public declaration and parliamentary approval, making a secret overnight handover legally impossible. And although Prince William has increasingly assumed prominent ceremonial duties, including military roles, high-profile public engagements, and symbolic responsibilities, these are part of standard succession preparation rather than any transfer of kingship, reflecting a gradual strategy to groom the heir apparent while preserving the king's authority. Yet social media and sensational headlines continue to fuel speculation, showing the public's fascination with royal drama, the allure of secretive power shifts, and the way viral content can